Hey guys, this is Primeval. I think the stream should be going live now, although my preview player is still showing nothing. I should mute that, and I should mute the public player as well. I'll wait for the stream to catch up, as well as waiting for some sort of consensus to emerge in the chat. Right now, everyone seems to be, or the majority opinion seems to be going for a domination victory of some kind, and there seems to be a preference for at least some naval combat, maybe in the late game if it's a continents, or early forced by playing on a Pangea, or rather a archipelago. In the lead as far as civ choice goes is Assyria, although there are others who are saying Assyria would be a little too overpowered. Their siege tower is excellent. I haven't done any single-player LPs with them, and I did. Actually, I've played with them very briefly, but never a full LP, just testing them out. So it'd be fun for me since I haven't had too much experience with them. And there are also a couple suggestions to go for an Ice Age map, which would, on sparse resources, Jared Darkreef there, and a +1 from Kex Big for the Ice Age, and that could definitely make things a little more challenging. We would get fewer bonuses from the map, so would the AI, but on Deity... Oh, I'll be right back. Alright, thanks everyone for tuning in. I've temporarily disabled the phone, so no need to worry about that. I'm assuming the chat is slowly catching up. There's more +1s for the Ice Age, saying it'd be hilarious, and another plus for Assyria, because it's not the early domination victory is hard, but keeping everyone happy afterwards. Yeah, so especially in Brave New World, going early aggression against your neighbors is much more difficult than it was in vanilla, and that's, or even in Gods and Kings. And that's mostly because of the new emphasis they put on the trade routes. So trade routes on Deity are especially powerful because of the science boost, which is pretty key in the early game. But they're also the primary source of gold now. So in Vanilla and Gods and Kings, you could get a lot of gold off of river tiles. But now, with you depending on trade routes with your AIs, it makes the political situation and playing nice with at least some of the AIs much more important. And it makes the warmonger penalty that much more serious. Okay, so here's a vote for Archipelago. Yeah, I also can't tell if it would be super boring or actually pretty interesting. IAZ there. So, I think unless there are some strong objections, we're going to go and play with Assyria. We'll play on Continents Plus, so that's a modified map. I think it's from one of the DLCs. It differs from traditional continents in one important respect, and that's city-states are placed off of the main continent, and that means you can't steal workers from them so early, which is a good thing. Most people say that worker stealing is a little powerful and a bit of an exploit, but it is an important part of the game. And so while we're on continents, it will mean that we will eventually get into some naval gameplay, especially since we're forcing ourselves into a domination victory here. Alpaca Tail says, "Why are you so cute?" And if you noticed me pause in my little monologue about the map, I think that was me being thrown off by that comment. But I'm glad you enjoy my voice and that you did clarify that. So we're all good here. Let's see now. Let's get rolling with Assyria, Continents Plus, Standard, and Deity. Okay, let's get started then. We are at 5 minutes from my projected start time, so I think there wasn't too much preamble there. Let's roll.
The people bow to your esteemed will, O wise and illustrious King Ashurbanipal of Assyria. Across the world you are known as both a scholar and a warrior, and yet the legends represent merely a glimmer of your true ambition. Although your enemies cower to the thought of your ferocity in conquest, you are most proud of your intellectual pursuits. Your thirst for knowledge led to your establishment of the Royal Library at Nineveh, which came to represent
the Royal Library Nineveh. You know, I rarely listen to this narrator. I mean, sure, he's got a nice voice, but I'm usually too eager to start the game, and I'm just talking over him. If there was a way for me to shut him up, I could talk about the siege tower and the Royal Library. We'll just talk about those things once we get them in game. We'll cancel that. Okay, so we are on Continents Plus, and eventually we are going to have to kick out a navy, so it would have been nice if we could have had a coastal capital, but it doesn't look like we're too close to any water here. Now, I don't have any hills within walking distance. Well, I could walk here to this hill. I would give up the river, and that would be fine. I don't have a lot of food in this area, although once I get farms on the river, that'll be useful. And I think at the start of every one of my games, I explain why I like hills. We have a question from the chat from Rob Crowell, asking if I'll be conquering any city-states and if that's ever a good idea. So sometimes it is a nice thing to do, but usually if you can ally with them, then they are more beneficial with whatever bonuses they give as allied city-states. So it's very situational, and if a situation comes up where we might want to capture a city-state, then I guess that'll be the true answer to your question. So why do I like settling on the hills? They give a 20% combat strength bonus to your city, so combat strength means that you take less damage when units attack you and you deal more damage to them if they're a melee unit. And so that's pretty useful. The way settling cities works is the city will produce a minimum of 2 food and 1 hammer, and if the native yield of the tile has a greater value, so if it made 3 food or if it makes 2 hammers, for example, on a hill, then that will replace the city's yield. So settling on a hill means you get an extra production versus normal, and usually at the beginning of the game you don't have the citizens to spare to work a hill. Basically, you want to get as much food coming in as possible, so you'll set your citizens to work river tiles rather than the hill. So really, you're getting a lot more production than you would normally be able to get by settling on a hill. So the other option, so I could walk to this hill, I would visit on the river, which is okay, although we are going to be probably doing some land trade routes, and being on a river does get you a 20% gold boost there. Colin suggests moving north to get some more floodplains, as well as another luxury resource here. So that would be the marble. We would have 3 luxury resources within our 3 ring. Having the marble would be nice if we were building wonders. We probably won't actually work the tile, since even when improved, the yield on it would be 1 hammer and 2 gold, at least until we got a quarry. So I'm not too worried about missing out on the marble, although getting more floodplains would be nice. The other option, besides settling on the hill or walking towards the floodplains, would be to go and settle on the gems, which would hook it up right away and also add 3 gold to the yield of our city tile. Gun 1 Grave is also digging, moving north towards the desert, since we would also have the potential to get a lot of nice free faith off of desert folklore. We could also get a lot of free faith off of the gems pantheon, and we would have no issue with working the gems tiles since they are producing 2 food here with the jungle or the forest. I'm going to go, despite the chats saying that they want us to wander north, I'm going to take one step this way, see what we can see, and then I'm going to go and take this hill. And we reveal some bananas, that'll be nice. There are some jungle tiles, and jungle tiles do make for a slower start since it takes workers, I think it's like 11 turns to clear a jungle, an annoyingly long time anyways, but they do compensate for that drawback eventually once you get universities up, since they do provide the 2 science there. Alright, so let's go and settle in place. That was a longer start than I would normally tolerate for my offline single-player LPs, since I know that people can get impatient, but since I'm trying to interact with the chat here, I do want to spend a little more time in between decisions to allow the lag from the live stream to catch up. Okay, so we do have a city-state nearby, despite the fact that we're playing on Continents Plus. So the map script doesn't, I guess, place all of the city-states off the main continent, it just places more of them off the main continent than the normal script does. So this isn't looking so bad. We've got 3 gems within our 3 ring. We did give up the 2 luxuries here, at least within the 3 ring. We can always settle an additional city up there to claim those luxuries. We did gain a banana. Food is always good for growth. A strong capital is important regardless of the victory condition you're going for. And I don't see a better spot that I want to spend more turns walking to. So let's go and settle in place. So there, pointer 1 in VB is saying that the name of the pantheon I was thinking about for +2 faith from gems is Tears of the Gods. So that'll be nice. Okay, so choosing production. Let's see, let's start off with the scout. We are on a continent, so he'll definitely get some good use out of that. Lock down the gems, go to production focus, but since we don't have a second hill for that new citizen to go and work as soon as he's born, the production focus trick won't yield us as much of a boost as it might normally. You can search after this live stream is over for my video on the production focus trick if you aren't sure what I'm talking about. So here, we do have 1 granary resource, so going pottery could be useful. We could get the shrine for the +2 faith from gems, pantheon going, build a granary for the extra food. We'd be getting 2 off the granary and an extra from the bananas, which would be decent. Animal husbandry could reveal some horses. Let's start off with pottery, so we have the option to go for a religion, and I think a lot of you want to see some early aggression, and if the map allows, so ooh, early faith, that definitely helps, and a coast. Alright, cool. So I was saying about the possibility of early aggression. We'll let the map decide that. If we do have 2 nearby AI neighbors, then what I'll do is get a... Wow, that is a lot of city-states, and I was just saying that Continents Plus would make it more difficult for us to steal workers from them, but since they're here, we'll definitely be stealing workers from them. Now, if we have 2 nearby AIs, we'll befriend one of them, send them a couple caravans to boost our science and our gold, and then we'll attack the other. If we have 2 nearby, that is. If we don't, then we might not go for the early aggression, even though... Is there a Twitch or something? So, Wero 10, I'm not sure what you're asking. There is definitely a lag, and I don't know if the stream is twitching, or if my voice is twitching, or if you'd rather watch me stream on Twitch, but I've read your comment and I am confused. Alright, so we're about to finish training the scout. These city-states are indeed very close. I haven't met this one yet, but I do want to go and grab these runes, just in case there's an AI nearby. to snatch them from me. Ooh, and we're actually close to a mountain. It's too far away to let us build any mountain requiring wonders, and obviously you need to be right beside it for the observatory. So a slight missed opportunity there. We do have city states close enough that we're not going to worry about training any workers. Let's go and build a second scout if we do want to do some early military aggression. Those scouts will be useful, and getting as much intel on the map is going to be quite important for us, regardless of what we decide to do. Okay, a weapon upgrade there, that's nice. Some more gems. And we will go and swing back and meet Antwerp here. Okay, some more ancient runes, free tech, archery, that'll definitely be useful, the early archery, if we do have some nearby neighbors we want to get aggressive with early. Antwerp, a bunch of gold, and we did grow, so let's go and we could go and buy the bananas. That would get us some earlier growth. But if we do want to keep our options open for some early aggression, we'll want to save as much of our gold as possible for the crucial upgrade of archers to composite bows. So let's hold off on buying those bananas. We will keep on growing here, so we'll just lock down a food tile. And yeah, keep on exploring with our scout. Took a little damage there. Let's keep running away. And we are close to the coast. Dropping a city, say, anywhere here would be fine. So a city here would get us the marble, but not the dyes. It would have decent production with all of these hills. Settling over here would get the mountain within the 2 rings, so we could build wonders that require mountains from that second city. But we still have a lot more of the map to explore, and plenty of other options for settling. Okay, choosing production. Since we didn't get an early culture rune, I could go and grab a monument if we do want the faith. And since you guys were pretty excited about, what was it? Goddess of Tears? The gems pantheon. Let's go and build a shrine there. If we do go high military, the extra happiness we could get off of some religious perks might make it worth it. So up next, let's go and grab animal husbandry, and I can find out if we have some horses. That'll be a nice boost to our production. And yes, we do have 4 gems in range. That'll be really nice if we do get the gems pantheon. Ooh, and we have a neighbor really nearby. Kamehameha. Aloha to you too. So this is excellent because, as I was saying in the intro, or at least my 5-minute preamble where I talked about pretty much everything, trade routes are extremely important and powerful on Deity. So hopefully we have more than one neighbor. We can try to be friends with Kamehameha. Friends for life again, just like in our France LP. We'll get some nice science trade routes going and then go beat up on our other neighbors. Hopefully we do have other neighbors. If we don't, then we probably will go and beat up on Kamehameha just because you guys want to see some early aggression. Alright, there goes a pantheon. Goddess of protection. That's really not a very useful pantheon, but the AI does like to go for it, so I'm thankful for that, since they start with pottery, amongst other techs, and so they can get their shrines online really early, found all their pantheons really early, and if they were grabbing all the good pantheons, then that would leave nothing for the human player on Deity. Alright, so here's Honolulu. They do have a coastal capital by the looks of it, and they've already had their second city down on Deity. Those of you who don't know, the Deity AI does start with a settler, and so that's why they're always able to get that second city down so soon. Kami must die, says IZ. And so we definitely do want the science boost because getting to both construction for comps of bows and mathematics for the our unique unit, the siege tower. Oh, Shaka! Alright. So the Zulu are extremely difficult to deal with because their unique unit is so resistant to ranged attack units. The Impi are basically immune to ranged attacks, and on Deity, since the AI has a production bonus for everything, the only way you can beat them militarily is by, making better use of the units, which means making good use of range attacks, and so the Impi basically nullify that. And so if we can, be friends for life with Kamehameha, or at least friends for the first 100 turns, maybe bribe the Zulu into attacking them, then we could have a nice little diplomatic shared enemy bonus, get a nice science boost off of trading with them, hopefully take out the Zulu before they get their Impi, although given the rough terrain, depending on where they are, that might be a very difficult proposition, because we'll have to walk through all this extremely rough terrain to get to the Zulu. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Alright, so we could steal a worker here, or we could let the barbarians steal the worker and then steal it back, and that way we might actually be able to maintain good relations with Geneva. Okay, let's see now. Choose research. We've got animal husbandry done. Since we do have the gems, we'll want mining, although these two gems are covered with jungles, so getting those hooked up will be difficult, and this one here is right beside a barb camp, so we will need some units at some point, and that barbarian, let's hope he steals this worker here. Okay, so Geneva was smart enough to hide their worker, which means I'll be a little bit delayed in grabbing a worker from them, but that's alright. I do need to clear this encampment and then we'll head back to Geneva. I don't really have any improvements to make apart from farms at the moment. And if we are planning to grow, when we expand into that bananas, let's just shift over and work those. Choosing production, get that caravan rolling as soon as possible. And I do definitely need to find out where Shaka is. This scout will go to the south, and this scout will go to the east. Yeah, Shaka is probably already coveting my lands. That's right, Gunman Grave. Okay, Asura's grown, very nice. Let's go reassign this for some more growth. Okay, that does delay our caravan by 2 turns, gets us a new citizen. 6 turns sooner. I could go and buy my way to these gems. I will have to improve them eventually, but as I was saying about wanting to get the science online, I don't know. Fine, let's delay the growth for now. I'm hesitant to buy the gems because, again, I'm trying to save as much money to do a massive upgrade of archers to composite bows. So Kexbig is saying that I should definitely do my best to kill Shaka before he gets Impi, and this is going to be a difficult proposition because I think the land, all this rough terrain, is really going to work against us, unless he just happens to be over here, which would be both convenient and dangerous. I actually do really hope Shaka's run over here because then we do stand a better chance of taking him out early. Go heal that spearman before we get back into attacking. Ooh, natural wonder. Not the most exciting one, but if it is near a coast, I'll certainly be settling a city there. I am trying to keep our coastal, our future cities relatively coastal so that we can have some strong production centers for once we need to build a navy to go and deal with the other continent. For those of you just joining us now, we are playing on Continents Plus. Okay, some more runes, that'll be nice. Let's grab those. What did we... Barbarian encampments, come on! Oh well. And we can take the instant heal here. I think I'll just hang out for now. Grab the rough terrain bonus since we are completely surrounded by rough terrain. Okay, there's a high density of Shaka's units here. He might be over here. If we settle a second city over here, we'll have a good launching point to begin our attacks on Shaka. We can also train archers in Assyria, walk them over to our expansion city and upgrade them there. World's busiest people, one of them is Shaka. That's not a good omen. Okay, so here's one of Shaka's cities. That doesn't look so bad. We can get a road in, maybe clear some of these things. It'll be a waste of our worker manpower, but Shaka's territory isn't too far away. Okay, there's mining done. Let's see, if I want multiple trade routes, I'll need sailing, and in the long run, that will help us get to construction and mathematics sooner, having 2 trade routes going. So let's go grab sailing here. And I do need to clean up these barbarians before I start sending trade routes. Adopting a policy. I am going to go tradition here because I do want to expand my borders, and if I am going early war, I'll probably just stick to 2 cities, and my additional cities will be acquired through conquest. So I won't... I'm going to go the tradition opener here, and I might reconsider liberty at a later point. But I do want the extra culture and faster border expansion just to grab... Ooh, there's the capital as well. And there's a lot of open terrain here that will let me set up my ranged units, get my siege tower in. Yes, this is definitely looking reasonable. Okay, right here we'll just go and fortify heal until Shaka takes care of the barbs for us. And here's the end of the continent by the looks of it. Okay. Yep, that looks like the bottom of the continent there. And we'll keep on exploring. We don't need the full heal. I do want a good scout on Ulundi before all the borders pop to this hill. If I'm going conquest, why not go honor, asks Alpaca Trail. So the most useful benefit in honor is the, let's see now, the plus 50% experience gain. And so that is an option. Another important aspect, especially since we're playing on continents and not Pangea, is keeping our tech rate good. And so going tradition, which does help with the growth of my capital, will be important for gaining techs. Although with our unique ability, we can also get some free techs off of conquering enemy cities. Anyways, honor is definitely viable if you're going for domination because a very key piece of having a strong army is getting all your ranged units up to logistics and range, or +1 range. And so having the 50% experience from that tenant within or policy within honor is useful. But since we're also going to need to tech and develop our navy, I'm sort of straddling the fence here. If we were on Pangaea, I might go full hog honor and try to push through that way, but I do want to grow my capital. So hopefully you're satisfied with that answer, at least for now. I'm happy to reconsider based on various bits of comments from the chat. Ooh, tons of runes here. Shaka did not like exploring to the north. Alright, and the Polynesians cleared out that camp for us, and they're already sending us a trade route. Oh, thanks, Kamehameha. You really are my best friend. I don't know if Kamehameha is such a great ally in your playthroughs, but he's been pretty good for me so far. Okay, so ancient runes, very nice. We'll go grab one of those next turn. And let's see, let's go and grab these runes, and then we'll hopefully swing back here in time to grab these. If I do want my expansion to be coastal, it'd probably be somewhere up here. It looks like there are a lot of hills, so that would be good production-wise as well. And I do need a worker. I really wish I could steal it from a barbarian, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Well, or maybe it'll happen this turn. Geneva will probably just pull that back into the safety of the city. And we could actually get these runes here. That's definitely nice. Alright, so there, trade route or caravans ready. Let's go and send this to Samoa. Would be safer, although Kamehameha has been doing a good job at clearing out the barbarians. Let's go Honolulu first, since the gold yield from that is likely to improve soon. We're one turn away from getting sailing to get a second caravan online. Let's go and put a turn into an archer, since I'll definitely be needing those, and then I'll switch back over to a second caravan. Already, this caravan is almost doubling our science output. And these barbarians are blocking my access to these runes. And if you hear some banging in the background, that's my cat digging around her food bowl. I think I will need to take a break soon and feed her. We've been live for about half an hour, so I'll run this for another 45 minutes to an hour, take a short break, and feed my cat. Then we will go and resume for another at least half an hour. I did promise that we'd go for at least an hour and a half on this live stream. Hopefully we can get in a little more, but so far so good. Okay, so let's go and grab, we could grab honor. We do have quite a few barbarians to deal with. We could get the experience boost, but again, so far I've only met 2 other civs. It's possible that our continent only has the 2 civs, and so let's see. And so having extremely upgraded ranged units might not be so useful. Yes, they can embark and swim over to the other continent, but by the time that happens, they might be obsolete or at least be of limited use. So I'm going to go grab legalism here, going for the strong capital plan, and if I do want to steal a worker from Geneva, well, let's just stand over here for now. Maybe we'll steal one from Antwerp. I probably just should have stolen that worker much earlier. Okay, if we stand here, we are probably going to be in big trouble of being killed by these barbs. So let's work our way around the far side. Maybe Shaka will go and deal with those barbs for me. He can put his aggressive units to use. So yes, let's work together. Thanks, buddy. Oh, and I did say I wanted to start training that caravan as soon as possible. I got distracted with my running commentary. Let's switch that over. It's never too late to fix a mistake. And we'll go found the Gems Pantheon if it's still available. So let's see. Faith from Gems, where are you? Okay, here we are. Tears of the Gods, +2 faith from Gems and Pearls. Gotcha. Alright, so now we're pumping 3 faith per turn. That's nice. I am saving my gold for the upgrades, as I mentioned. Otherwise, I would have to go and buy that gem tile. So here, if we kill this barb, Geneva will be happy with us, but that'll completely go to waste when we declare war on them to steal their worker. So let's just hang out here for now. And yes, I will try to keep the Scout Archer alive, but I also want to beat Shaka to these runes. Ooh, Salt! Yes, this will definitely be a nice spot for the our first expansion city. It'll give us a good launching ground to commence hostilities against Shaka, hopefully before he gets Impi, and the Salt is definitely nice. It does mean that our second city might not be coastal, and by the looks of it, most of the cities that we can capture, except for Honolulu, are not coastal either, so that might be a bit of a tricky proposition. And, well, if I do want the Scout to survive, I think I did kind of forget about him. I'll probably take the instant heal, and, well, we'll fortify here for now as well. Walk forward. This does look safe. That is a lot of salt. And got a bunch of faith from that rune. Not bad. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, we could settle the city right here. That would be coastal. It would have 4 salt. That's going to be very, very good. Alright, this archer will guard that spot. After the caravan completes, we'll go and work on our settler. That makes it 11. I'm not in a rush to grow my population in this situation. I want the settler and the caravan as quickly as possible here. Let's just hope Shaka doesn't beat us to this prime city location. It is my location. Alright, so Antwerp, 16 riches, research. Let's go grab the wheel. Although if we do want to clear out jungles, we do need bronze working. However, we do have 1 gems that we can hook up there. There's the dyes. Alright, we don't need any luxury resources for now. Let's go grab the wheel. That opens up both construction and mathematics to us. And we are getting almost half of our science from trade routes. And so that means we're researching at 2 times the speed we would normally be, and that should help us get up to the relevant attacking units before Shaka can get his Impi. I know, 5 salt, that's going to be incredible, although Shaka is paying a lot of attention to this area as well. Alright, so I kind of have forgotten about this poor scout. Let's just fortify him here. Maybe he'll meet Milan if they send out a worker or a unit there. Okay, there goes that scout. Sorry guys, I am not omniscient or paying as much attention as I could be. Alright, so we've got our free worker. He's going to go and hook up these gems, and this spearman can go and guard the capital. Maybe explore this bit of fog here. We could check out the ruins to the north. I think I'm going to wait for this archer to heal up. And once we're healed, maybe once the spearman checks out this area, we will go looking for more runes to the north, as per Werotan's suggestion. Okay, we discovered the wheel. Antwerp targets this encampment, and I guess that's where Shaka was running off to. If we're really lucky, we might be able to snipe that from him, but it's unlikely since I don't have a melee unit. And we're not expanding to that gems tile now. I think I will spend 50 to buy, especially since we would get the faith off of that as well as the gold per turn. It is definitely an improvement versus the plain unimproved forest that citizen was working previously. And it will get us some extra hammers once we chop that forest. So overall that's fine. Okay, choosing research. Let's go grab mathematics. We can also find out about the iron situation, or we could go writing. Since I'm going to be building a settler next, that means I won't be building siege towers, at least not for probably 8 to 12 turns. It means I also won't be building libraries. Well, let's go grab mathematics for now, since I definitely will want that, and we'll reconsider in 9 turns. Shaka's army really wants this area. Alright, so let's go and... Well, when we're sieging Ulundi, the open terrain would actually be more beneficial. But because units get a natural defense on rough terrain, for more diversity, more versatility, taking Barrage 1 helps cancel that out. So let's go take Barrage 1 on our Scout Archer. We'll hang out here to heal. Get started on that diamond or gem mine, and I suppose if we're really lucky we could get over to the camp in time to claim it for Antwerp. Let's go and let's protect Antwerp just in case. Alright, so we actually still do have a chance to grab that camp there. We're soon going to be pumping out a settler. Our food is base 1. Grandly Landed Elite would give us 1 extra hammer for settler production. Monarchy would get us some extra gold, as well as happiness to cover the unhappiness from our expansion city, but so too will improving the gems. So let's go and grab Landed Elite here. That's an extra 2 turns of bonus growth while we work on the caravan. And in fact, no, that does delay the caravan. Keep working the forest there. Kamehameha has gone and built Terracotta Army. Go next turn. And it looks like Shaka's given up on clearing this encampment, or not. Instead, he's gonna beat us to it by 1 turn. He was just teasing us there. Alright, let's forget about this. We'll start looking around for runes to the north. Geneva yearned for the mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Whoa! Talk about aggressive settling there. Alright, so actually this is good. This is a good location for a city, a decent location. I was complaining that we didn't have enough coastal cities to capture, so if Nukahiva ends up having a lot of nice buildings, a lot of nice improvements, we could just keep it. That was a little aggressive of our good friend Kamehameha though. I don't know how much longer we'll be able to maintain peaceful relations with him. Alright, let's go and trade with Nukahiva. That does look like the safest route here. And it does get us the 3 signs. Oh, and how very lucky. Wow, that was incredibly lucky. Alright, so we cleared that camp with no effort. And I have no idea what Shaka was thinking, although he does have quite the army here. Maybe he's going to use that as a Cassia Bella for his people, blaming those Assyrians for stealing a camp that his army had worked so long for. Alright, so we'll just station our spearmen somewhere in between here and get to work on that settler. Let's have a look here. Base 2 food. This is a good configuration for us. Excellent. Get the mine rolling and do some exploring with that archer as well. Alright, so it looks like the end of the continent. There could be some ruins over there. Definitely worth checking out. Yes, Colin, so much for Prime's best friend indeed. Well, I mean, we do have 3 trade routes going, 2 of our own and 1 from him, and you know, that's pretty important. Even if we aren't going to be best friends forever, we're best friends when it counts, right? In the early game when I need his science. Okay, everything looks good here. We'll bust this last bit of fog. In 10/8 turns, we'll have our settler start walking him over towards Shaka. We'll have our siege towers. We'll have composite bows. Take down Mundi before Impy. At least that's the plan. Of course, things don't always go according to plan. Okay, Shaka has the largest army, we have the smallest, but I'm not worried yet. In fact, should Shaka declare war on me now, while he just has warriors and archers, that would be an ideal situation. It would waste a whole bunch of his hammers, kill a bunch of his units, and deprive him of units that he could be upgrading to much more relevant composite bows and MP. Okay, there's mathematics. Choose research. While we're waiting, let's go grab writing. I don't need construction until I have a nice army of archers. The rationale for building archers and then upgrading them is it allows you to essentially trade gold for hammers, which is not something you can normally do. Okay, so Shaka's got a bunch of army. Where Otan, best friend, can fight and still be best friends, even in Civ. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to totally obliterate Kamehameha. We can steal a couple of his cities, take his capital, and then be friends again, maybe. This 5 salt location does indeed look very good, and my settlers can be completing in 5. We do have units ready to escort. Let's... Shaka's got a warrior right where I want to settle. Oh no, we'll just go and claim that for ourselves with the spearmen then. It was just sending his units home. Keep on gaining experience on our scout archer there, and let's get started on a farm. Bringing the archer home to escort the settler. Who's going to pop in 3. And we'll just fortify here. Grab some gold from that encampment. Oh, Shaka was about to clear that out himself. That's 2 encampments sniped from Shaka. If he was a human, he would not be pleased. But since he's Shaka, he's never pleased. And Kamehameha is really going on a wonder building spree here. There's writing. We could eventually build the Royal Library. That'll be nice. let's put some turns. Well, let's see where the iron is. Then we'll put some turns into construction, but we will hold off until we've built ourselves a bunch of archers. And no ruins here. This is the end, the northern end of the continent. May as well get some more experience there. Waiting around to escort that settler, and I think it's been a while, and we have only met the 2 AI here, so I think we might be on the continent with just the 3 of us, and the other continent might have 5, or we could have another AI isolated on his own, but it's unlikely that there would be 4 continents. Alright, there's the hand gardens done. Finish the settler, it's time to churn archers. And as for what tiles I want to be working here, let's see. Once we finish the farm, I will switch off from the forest to getting more food, unless that's also 4 turns. Nope, we'll go 4 turn archer rather than 5. And let's go and run on over to this prime city location. And Colin's saying, why didn't I grab iron first? I really should have, especially if I could have had iron within my workable tiles. That would have been an extra production. In the end, it didn't really matter, but that would have been the better play there. You're right to point out there, Colin. We have bronze working. Now let's put a bunch of turns into construction and get ready to set up our expansion city. Meanwhile, we'll spam archers non-stop at Q. Archer, archer, archer. And there's the caravan done. Let's see, what's our highest gold yield? That'll be with Honolulu. And sure, we could swap embassies, but I would prefer if you paid me for it. Paid me in the form of 1 gold per turn. And actually, while we are friends, I could sell you some gems before you get your own gems hooked up. Yes, let's do that quickly. Trade gems for 240. Alright, so now we've got a whole pile of money. Much more money than we actually need to upgrade what archers we have. We might even buy some archers. And let's go and switch that over to a new citizen in 6 turns. And we should probably send a worker over to improve some of that salt for us. Although, once we go to war with Shaka, we'll probably will have some workers we can steal from him as well. Well, while I'm thinking about that, let's toss up another farm. And I am very pleased that Shaka hasn't beat me to this location with a settler of his own. Alright, so we're about to take this awesome city spot, and I do want to keep an eye on what Shaka's up to. Heal there. Archer done. Gungrave 1 suggests a potential city spot here, and that will actually be quite necessary for us, depending on how much iron we get from our conquest, since dominating the seas, of course, is dependent on frigates, and frigates are dependent on iron. This would actually be a fairly decent spot with 3 fish, 1, 2, 3. It wouldn't be a hill, but that's alright. We would have 2 iron, 4 fish. Yeah, that would be a decent spot. Cattle as well, a whole bunch of hills. Alright, so let's go, and we're not building any wonders anytime soon. We could go down the honor path, but it'd be quite a while before we grabbed military tradition. I think I will just want to go and unlock the full tradition, so let's go grab monarchy. A nice gold boost, a happiness boost in there as well. And, oh, alright, so Shaka has been at war with someone this whole time, and we just never met him. There's someone tucked away back here, I guess. Cool, I guess that makes things easier for me. And if we are going to be going to war with Shaka, we'll definitely go and capture this settler, unless it settles this turn, especially since he has the gall to trade with Polynesia and not me. It's actually the ideal situation here, because then I can pillage the trade route for an extra 100 gold. Alright, let's go and settle the city. Boom. And yes, this will be pretty awesome. Alright, so we can go siege tower, we can go archer. Construction in 4. Go production focus, but definitely lock down the food. Yeah, we will go for the archer here for now. Ha! We sell where we please. And we take what settlers we please. I guess I should have denounced him last turn if I was planning to down right now. Well, we'll denounce him now anyways. So usually I would play a better diplomacy game. Hopefully, discuss, shall we declare war against Shaka? Alright, well, I'm declaring war. This settler is too good to pass up. And we will pull back just to be safe. Deal some damage there. I'll pillage that at some point. Rush forward. At the moment we just have the 3 archers. Possibly a 4th that will be paying to upgrade to composite bows. And I think I will go and buy an archer and then pay to upgrade him. So let's go purchase an archer. And we'll push forward here. Send the worker down and around, and we'll just have this archer fortified, move forward. We'll buy ourselves, oh, another settler! Thanks, Shaka. I didn't know we were such good friends. Alright, so that's 2 fewer cities for Shaka and 2 more workers for us. I bet some of you are screaming at the chat, saying that you're never lucky in your games, but I swear this is just a regular copy of Civ. Nothing funny has been done to it. These things happen when you play enough games, I guess. So let's go purchase another archer. And over here, we'll go from our farms. And Werotan is asking if I should build a wall. I'm not worried about a wall. I expect to have enough units to deal quite handily with this funny business. We'll switch this over to a siege tower. We do definitely need one of those. And start upgrading these guys. Upgrade. And I suppose I could have held back on buying that archer in favor of buying a siege tower over in Nineveh, since that would mean it could get over to Ulundi a lot sooner. But I was kind of excited to have all that extra cash. Actually, with pillaging the caravan, I will have enough to buy a siege tower, I think. Possibly. Anyways, let's get set up to eventually get to the National College. We can't ignore tech since there is a whole other continent to contend with. And over here, we do want to get some salt hooked up eventually. We're expanding there. Well, in the meantime, let's set up a farm because I do want to grow Nineveh rapidly since we do have a lot of nice tiles to be working. Fortify here. And bring our second free worker back to Nineveh. Oh, there's another settler, man. Shaka, if you put that settler on this hill again, I will lose all respect for you. Well, I mean, I was already gonna go and exterminate you, but it was out of respect. Respect for your impy, not respect for your cavalier regard for settlers. So I do want to keep this archer here, even though I do want to get him back into the territory to upgrade. I also want him ready to grab this settler should Shaka insist on placing him there again. So we'll leave that archer there. Ooh, and put ourselves into position to pillage this caravan. There we go, 100 from the caravan as it walked through our unit. And does that mean we have enough to buy ourselves a siege tower? We need 390 for that. What can I sell to my good friend Maya here? I could sell him gold per turn, and that would definitely be worth it. And I do have another worker here. Thanks, Shaka. It's glad of you. I'm glad you've been donating to my worker fund. Hang back here for now, and let's see, when are we expanding? In 2 turns. I do want to save all that money to upgrade or purchase a siege tower, so we'll hold off on that. And okay, excellent. So our good friend Kamehameha is glad that we've gone to war with the Zulu. MDG Programmer asks, the third settler, yes, absolutely awesome. When I normally decide to build a barracks, I generally don't. Well, so I will build a barracks if we start needing to pump out, pump out a navy. So I do want to get a bunch of Goliaths and then upgrade those guys to frigates, and I'll want those guys as experienced as possible. Since it's often difficult to level them up against, say, barbarians, what have you. So when it comes time to build a navy, I'll build the barracks. We'll use our unique building, the library, that'll also gain experience. That means I will have to get works of writing from somewhere. And then I'll also go and build the armory to get as much experience on those ships as possible, because the +1 range or logistics on your frigates is absolutely amazing. So, unfortunately, I don't have any of Shaka's units I can pick off for now. I want to get all of these guys into range at once and deal my damage all at once. So let's just stroll these guys over here for now and walk down here. Got a whole bunch of workers. Go and improve that. There's a barb camp up there that could cause some trouble for our free workers. And I do want to go and let's see, how much do I need for that siege tower? Purchase, that's 390. I'm gonna need quite a bit more gold. I'm bringing in 7 gold per turn. If I can hook something else up, for example, salt. I could sell salt to Kamehameha. Yeah, that would be a good deal for us here. We are expanding in 1 turn to that salt. We have a worker coming over to improve that. Alright, so that should all work out. We won't have the siege tower as soon as we might like, but still soon enough. Cameron Graybill asks what my win rate on Deity is. I don't know. If I get bored of a game, I'll stop playing it, and so that probably counts as a loss. Okay, let's get these guys surrounding Ulundi. We'll start dealing some damage next turn, or at least bait out some of Shaka's units so we can take care of those guys. And yeah, we'll fortify there. Go work on that pasture, and we are good. I might even need to hold one of these archers back to deal with that barb camp. Yeah, I'll refrain from upgrading this guy because I really want that siege tower as soon as possible. What we'll do is improve the salt, sell the salt to Kamehameha, buy a siege tower, bring it in. But in the meantime, we do have another tribute from Shaka, which I'll go and grab next turn, presumably, unless he runs to the south. But I think he really wants to settle over here. At least that's where all those units are pushing. So we'll just use our composites to knock down some of Shaka's units here, and we'll move on the capital soon. I could sell my gold per turn. I don't know if I'm going to get enough to purchase the siege tower just yet, so I'm holding off on that for now. But let's see how much gold we could get for this. I need at least 110. So let's see, 4 gold per turn. Well, make this deal work. 7 for 179. 6, accept. 153. Alright, that's good for now. Let's go buy our siege tower. And siege tower, we are in business. Alright, so first off, I accept your tribute, but it will not make me go easy on you. It just means we'll have 1 fewer city to pillage. And let's go get that mine going. That's 6 turns. Do not have the gold to upgrade this guy. Having a couple archers in the mix is fine. We'll have enough gold to upgrade them at a later date. And here, I can start working on a road. I don't have engineering, so I won't get the bridge bonus. Alright, let's just go and chop some of these forests to speed up a library. And we'll add that to the queue, and we'll also eventually want a library in Nineveh. Alright, so back here, let's chop this forest, speed out that composite bow, and this worker can go and work on a road. Alright, so we did get ourselves a great prophet. That's nice. Our religion for us. Someone far away has built the Great Wall, which should be fine since we'll both mostly be dealing with the other continent with naval units, and then by the time we get over there, they'll probably have obsoleted their Great Wall as well. Let's go and found ourselves a religion. My favorite, Tengrism. I have no idea what it's all about, but I do like that logo. A symbol, religious symbol. Religions are not corporations, at least not in 1080 BC. Okay, church property, tithe. We'll go with tithe here. It'll give us a nice gold boost if we manage to spread our religion effectively. And I do want to get something that'll give me happiness. But apart from cathedrals, We could go asceticism. The +2 faith from temples is already gone, as are pagodas. I can also grab a religious community, which would help me pump out the much needed military units. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a 5-minute break to let the chat catch up while I feed my cat, and you can tell me which religious perk you want to grab. Alright, so let me know. I'll be back in a few minutes. Oh wait, I should leave up the list of religious tenets here. So let's leave it like that, and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back. Let's see what the chat has to say. 300 seconds to go from Wikipedia. Tangrism is a modern term for a Central Asian, well, make this chat thing a little bigger, wider. No, that didn't do it. Alright, so let's find out about Tengrism here. Central Asian religion characterized by features of shamanism, animism, totemism, polytheism, and monotheism, and ancestor worship. Alright, sounds like a good mixed bag. Lots of nice aspects for religion there. I'm all for Tengrism. Alright, so let's see. Religious community, pagodas. Pagodas is already taken. Religious community, religious art for the culture push. Maybe not this time around. Something that gives happiness. And religious community. Alright, so we're all going for religious community here. I also happily agree with that, so let's get rolling. Alright, religious community, found religion, awesome. And, oh, okay, so unlike in my France peaceful playthrough, Kamehameha has also founded his own religion, so maybe we won't be friends forever. Okay, move a stacked unit. There's our worker. He wants to go and farm up some more tiles for us. We also have a caravan. And I do want to continue getting science from Kamehameha. So highest gold, that would be with Samoa or Nuka Hiva. Nuka Hiva still looks like the safer option. Let's go trade there. And what was I doing with this worker? Chopping down a forest, that's right. Okay. So here we'll soon have enough to upgrade another one of our archers to a composite bowman, which will be excellent. And I'm just going to go and make sure we have audio, that's good. Bunch of comments, this is also good. Alright, sorry, we're back. Good. Taking care of that barb camp. Bringing our siege tower into play. And bringing our vanilla archer into play. Alright, so let's start dealing some damage here. And I don't want to stand within double range attack at the city, so we'll swing over this way. That should be fine. Ooh, even with standing back, we did lose a composite bow there. These things happen. We can be expected to lose units, and I'd rather have this happen before Shaka gets his impy. So overall, not too disappointed. I'll pop in over this way. It's probably safer to go north, although we could have the worker hang around as a combat engineer, repair tiles for us. That's actually the better option. I'm used to playing with no quitters, where repairing tiles in your opponent's territory is not allowed, but we'll have this worker hang around. That'll actually be perfect for us. Alright, let's kill those units. Oh, and we do want to get the siege tower in there for the 50% combat bonus from the siege tower. So that's definitely nice. And we'll pop the archer in there. He can deal some damage too. And we'll walk over with the second siege tower. We don't have an army to support attacking Polynesia here right now, so there's no reason to keep the siege tower in Assur. We'll just start walking over like that. And get our royal library up so that we can keep pace with tech. Let's have a look at where we are. As far as tech goes, we're at the bottom at 16%, whereas Kamehameha, our good friend, is leading, which means we are getting some nice science off of our trade routes with him. And we're a good 5% below the average. So, could be worse, could be better. Totally fine for Deity. Excellent. Oh, we lost another composite bow there, which is certainly a shame. Go out and pillage that. Fortify. This is a safe attack, so we'll do it. And repair that. Okay. So let's go clear this encampment. And next turn we'll wander back, upgrade. Forest clearing has gotten us to a composite a little sooner. And I do have a bunch of extra gold, so if I wanted I could buy myself towards the salt. I think I will go start working on a road. Connecting our two cities eventually will be useful. No, that's way too costly and not as useful as I'd like it to be. Alright, so here I'll probably have to take the instant heal. Bombard. Alright, so my girlfriend just got home, so if you hear more background noise, that's what that's all about. And with the added hitch of I'm currently have stolen her monitor to have a second display that I can read the chat on. So I'm going to have to return that soon. We'll be ending the stream at 9 then. Okay, and with this guy, we will go... I do want to get these guys up to range and logistics, so we won't take the instant heal. With backup from the siege tower, we should actually be able to do more damage than we would normally. If we were not playing Assyria, then I would actually be in pretty bad shape here, having been whittled down to just 3 ranged units. But we are in good shape to take Ulundi before Shaka gets impy. And I do want to save this worker from that archer. And yeah, we are going to go and repair that. And this composite is not going to have a nice day. Ooh. Do these guys already have their war canoe crazy promotions? Yeah, so I haven't played as the Zulu before, so I don't know exactly where they get all these bonus promotions from, but it's easy to forget, or at least I forgot, that those promotions allow them to move 3 hexes at a time. So I didn't anticipate losing that composite bow. That was careless, but here we are. Alright, so here we'll get cover, pillage, deal damage, insta-heal, pillage, do damage, and then try to take the city here before things get out of control. Excellent. View the city. It's got a library, a canvassery, and a watermill. Solid. So we'll go create a puppet there, and walk over this way. Move forward with this archer and upgrade him. And we are in good shape. We did lose a few more units than I would have liked, but we did capture Shaka's capital, and that should cripple him, and we're in good position to go for the next city. And then after that, we'll find out what's going on over here. Apparently there was another civ that Shaka had been beating up on, and then we'll have to go and deal with Kamehameha for his aggressive settling. Definitely lock that down. All this stuff looks good. Okay, and we can also go and buy some salt. We're going to expand there naturally in 2 turns. So we'll go and send some of these workers back to Ulundi, and we'll have this guy just wait on top of the salt. Meanwhile, send our guys over this way. Next turn, Kamehameha wants to buy our salt, and I'm happy to sell that. But he doesn't have a large lump sum gold that I would normally prefer here. So let's go 7, 28. We'll make this deal work. 8 and 7. Fine. We'll be friends with him for a little while longer. Ooh, and we lost another composite bow. Alright, so here, we'll just have to fortify. Get all of our composites into position. And here we'll go open terrain. Deal damage. And let's get to work on our Royal Library so we can get our National College up. And chop this forest. Go add to queue. Could use a granary for more growth here. And we could also use replacement composite bows. So let's get a composite bow up. And we'll leave the Great General there for now, especially with that Barbarian Archer running around. Fortify heal. Move forward. Wait for the borders to pop. So Uncanny Luck asks if I missed it on the Petra. I don't think I've seen the Petra go yet, but... And actually that might be a good option. I would have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Petra enhanced tiles that I would work normally anyways. Actually make that 6 with the wheat. And then there's the hill, of course. Let's see if the Petra is still available. We could go grab currency here. Let's find out about the Petra, because that would make for a powerhouse in Nineveh. But overall, I'll probably want to be pumping military units, and can't afford to spend that production on most wonders. Although a Petra here would definitely be worth it. It would help me pump out a really strong navy. So, thanks for bringing that up. And Pointer 1 VB is worried that Ulundi could fall here. I'm feeling fairly safe since there's this river blocking the sword. It's just these 2 damaged spearmen, although they can pillage and attack. We are at 18 strength here. I think the siege tower is safe, but we will be pretty sad if we lose it, so let's pull that out. You can't say that I don't listen to the chat. Alright, working on that salt mine, and we're good. Alright, so Ulundi did survive, and with plenty of hit points to spare as well, so that's definitely nice. Let's push forward here, take out this spearman, push forward here, take out that spearman, possibly, and keep on dealing damage. Alright, our caravan there was nearly pillaged. And I'm going to wait until I have a military escort before I bring our Great General over to our fight with Shaka. He has a very large army. A lot of his units were preoccupied with his fight with whatever unknown AI is hiding out down here. And Clam Chowder 2010 says he doesn't think we can beat another Civ to Petra on Deity, and while it's possible to get Petra on Deity, I've done it before, it's usually with where you go in beeline currency and you build the Petra in your capital where you already have a lot of production. So it's quite possible that we will miss out on the Petra unless desert tiles are very scarce on this particular map. Since the reward of getting a Petra in Nineveh is so great, and I think the chat is somewhat excited about it, I think we will try for it, but that won't be until next week. So there's plenty of time for you guys to weigh in the comments as to whether or not I should be going for the Petra. Alright, let's go repair these tiles. We'll fortify heal here, and get back in here to repair all the tiles that barbarian archer had pillaged. Well, fortify. The Zulus have recaptured their capital, and we did lose an archer. We can definitely take that back here, especially since we've got the siege tower in position. Now let's go and grab Barrage 1. We do have the 50% bonus. Although I should also be worried about these swordsmen. Alright, Burundi. Take that down, if only to protect ourselves from a range attack from the city. View the city. Unfortunately, we did lose the library. Go and create a puppet there. There's a forest cleared. Go and clear another one. I do want that composite bow as soon as possible so we can escort the general to deal with Shaka's never-ending units. I'm glad that we are dealing with these units now, while they're just spearmen and not impy, however. Okay, Zulu have captured Ulundi back again. The reason he's able to do this so effectively is he's got this catapult sitting right there. Let's go take that down. These swamps will prevent this archer from grabbing my worker this turn. And here we can pillage. And that wasn't quite enough to take the city. That's fine. We will go and work this siege tower here so we can grab the city next turn. Alright, so this all seems good. I'm going to be wrapping it up after this turn, and I do hope that you all join me next week, Tuesday, at the same time, where we will continue this series. Let me know what you want to do about the Petra. And here, if we can improve and pillage before we get in there. Reclaim the capital, view the city. It's out of buildings now. Much less appealing than it was before. Go deal some damage to that swordsman. And if I do want this guy to survive, I will have to take the instant heal. Another caravan. We'll go and renew that with Honolulu. That's still giving us a significant boost to our science. And we're not building any wonders, although we are going to be building our national college somewhere in 9 turns from now. So aristocracy could be useful. Oligarchy could also be useful if we are fending off a bunch of Shaka's units. So let's go grab Oligarchy. Colin suggests that we take peace with Shaka, and so that's something that I'll consider in the next episode, assuming Shaka will even go for that. But this is where we'll end part 1 of my first Deity live stream. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, all 50 of you. That's pretty awesome for my first stream. Not my first stream, I've been testing it for the past couple of weeks, but my first Civ 5 stream. Tune in Thursday at 7:30 for what will be a multiplayer stream with my subscribers if you want to play with me. just show up maybe 10 minutes before, sign into my Steam chat, and we'll go from there. It'll be multi-session. We'll play from 7:30 until about 9, save and resume the next week, just like I'll be doing with this single-player LP. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, and if you really enjoyed it, feel free to promote me to all of your Civ-loving friends, and I'll see you next week or on Thursday.